This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
After a month in jail, Kanimuri's bail plea is rejected. Some hope though, as Supreme Court says she can reapply in lower courts.
If there is any crisis, our leader will always rise to the occasion. And the same blood is there in her. And she will always rise to the occasion. There's no question about it.
A day after Father's Day, Karunanidhi books ticket to Delhi to see his favourite daughter Kanimuri. Will Congress offer the balm? Temporary relief for Chennaites, 4-hour-long park carts to be put on hold. But TNEB warns the shocking outages may not be history yet. Amma launches her vote of thanks to the electorate in Srirangam with a 200 crore rupee growth package. Counselling for engineering aspirants from general quota to begin on July 8th. Separate dates announced for other quotas. Gokula Indra assures Anna Nagar of complete focus, says that there will be no disappearing act.
So every day I am receiving the representation, petitions and their necessary what they need.
And the sensei of City Cops J.K. Tripathi lays down the laws of karate for Moga Pairs youth. Very good evening, you're watching News Tonight with me Ashmit. Let's take a look at stories coming in from across the nation. Differences remain. Both sides say that after Lokpal panel meet, another session tomorrow. In Kerala, a shocking case of sexual abuse of a minor in Kochi, allegedly by her own father and 100 others. Mayawati has lost the moral authority to stay in office. The Congress hits out after 4 cases of alleged rape in UP. The crew of the MV Suez, including 6 Indian sailors, expected in Karachi by Wednesday. A Pakistani ship has them on board. And a bouncy pitch and injury worries for India's already depleted test team for the first match against the Windies. Well, first up in our top story today, Kanimuri, the daughter of DMK patriarch Karunanidhi and a DMK MP, suffered a big blow at the hands of the Supreme Court. And in the latest, the troubled father Karunanidhi is expected to fly to Delhi tomorrow to visit his daughter. Now, earlier in the day, despite tugs at the emotional cords of the jury by Kanimuri's lawyers, the apex court dismissed her bail plea. The only silver lining for the DMK's first family was the concession that she will be allowed to file for bail with the trial court. Now, the court noted that using section 437 of the CRPC, Kanimuri could claim leniency as she is a woman. Earlier, the lawyers tried to play the mother-child card, claiming that she was a victim of the system. They also claimed that she had nothing to do with the functioning of Kalanya TV. Now, her bail pleas have earlier been rejected by the Special Trial Court and the Delhi High Court. While DMK MP Vasanthi Stanley also reacted, she maintained that the leaders will face the issues bravely.
Before law, it's not a question of women or men. All are equal before law. But for her, I can say she is the daughter of our leader, Supremo, Kalaignar Karunanidhi. And whatever may be the case, if any, this I have told you already, if there is any crisis, our leader will always rise to the occasion. And the same blood is there in her. And she will always rise to the occasion. There's no question about it. But being separated from her family and especially her small son, that would be there in her heart. But I will tell, she faces this very courageously. She is in good spirit. And whenever we are in tears, whenever we are lamenting on the course of action, what's going on and all these things, she is there first to encourage us, to console us.
Well, let's come back to what the lawyers had been pleading about. Now, while pleading for bail for Kanimuri, her lawyer told in the court, and I quote, she is a victim of the system. She's been in jail for a month without having done anything wrong. This would make anyone angry. They've also said that install a CCTV camera inside the house if you like, impose any conditions, but give her bail. Why should she be deprived of her son's company? Unquote. Well, of course, jail or bail, that appears to be the big questions after the string of developments. Our executive editor Sanjay Pinto raised these questions and he got some interesting observation. Let's take a look.
Take us through the people who are present in the court. What was the mood like in the court, Neha, and how long is it going to take for the charges to be framed for Kanimuri to make that yet another attempt at bail?
Well, Sanjay, one thing that cannot be doubted is that this order of the Supreme Court comes as a huge setback to Kanimuri and her legal team, because once she had been denied bail by the trial court and the High Court, she and her lawyers had pinned all their hopes on the Supreme Court. I mean, this is, after all, the apex court of the country. This was in many ways her last and only hope. With the court dismissing her bail plea, it really has been a very, very big blow. But as you said, the court has at the same time made a concession. And we therefore need to look at it in two parts. The court has given her the liberty to go back to the trial court seeking bail. So at least now we know that Kanimuri has that option of going back to the trial court and saying, the Supreme Court asked me to come here and please consider my bail plea. That there's a condition attached to this, which is that she cannot apply for bail again till charges are formally framed against all the accused in the 2G scam. And that is really the catch here, because we've spoken to a lot of lawyers and CBI sources who say that it could take a very long time, several weeks to even a few months, for that to happen, because we know that two charge sheets have already been filed by the CBI in this case. The third one is expected to be filed in early July, but till the investigating agency says that it has concluded its investigation, that it has found all that there was to be unearthed and that the trial can formally begin, it's only at that stage that charges will be framed against the accused, and it's only then that Kanimuri can apply for bail, and that could be several weeks, even a few months away.
To Mr. Dinakar and to you first, sir, thank you for joining us. Now, bail is the norm and jail is the exception. Why is it so difficult for Kanimuri to get bail? Because many say that, bail is given for murderers where the maximum punishment is death penalty.
Sir, it is a question of not being emotionally moved. Bail is a matter for the court to decide on facts of each and every case. Normally, under 437 CRPC, even in a non-bailable case, though the court may have a discretion to release persons under 16 years of age or a woman or sick and infirm person, it is not a mandatory provision. The discretion still rests with the court. Now, in this case, Kanimuri is not an illiterate person. Generally, in the villages, something happens without knowing, an illiterate woman entangles herself in a crime, then this analogy would apply. But Kanimuri is educated from a highly placed family, and she has had the opportunity of moving in the high personalities, and she is a member of the parliament, and she has been moving with people in Delhi and other places. She knows there is some material, as from the materials available. She has been moving with people. She was instrumental for Raja being appointed as a minister with this particular portfolio, and she has been moving with Mr. Raja on several occasions along with Mrs. Neera Radia.
On this point of political influence, there are changed circumstances now. The DMK, Kanimuri's party, is out of power in Tamil Nadu. They don't even have enough MLAs to be the principal opposition party in the assembly. As far as the centre is concerned, they seem to be on a slippery slope with the Congress. So what influence are we really talking about here?
No, it is not a question of person being in power or not. Still, that party wields power in certain sphere. Now, the people and the witnesses will be belonging to that group or amenable to that group. Naturally, they may have influence over the persons concerned, and there is a possibility of tampering.
This particular case, they say, be you ever so high, the law is above you. Now, is the Kanimuri denial of bail being highlighted only because she comes from an influential family and has been for a long time the toast of the media until, of course, this case surfaced?
You're true, Sanjay. I feel that she ought to have been given bail for the simple reason that bail is the rule, and jail should only be an exception. What is the thing that she is going to do now? Investigation is based on documents, and all the documents must be intact with the CBI by now, and they, as you rightly put it, have lost power as on date, and I don't find why she should be incarcerated now, and you should be she is deemed to be innocent till she is proved guilty. So naturally she ought to be left out on bail, and more so when the offer by the defense counsel was also to even ensure that she could be kept in a place where she could be surrounded by CCTV, be watched, and be almost kept in a sort of a place where you can secure her presence and also ensure that she does not tamper with any witnesses or evidence. So in these circumstances, I think she should have been granted bail and not deprived of bail.
It's been also argued and pointed out even by others, including the CBI, that the fact that Kanimuri was not arrested while soon after she was interrogated, that she was interrogated at the Kalyania TV office, a place of her convenience, many said, and only after a due appointment. So that does that point in any sense to influence?
See, I tell you with great respect to my senior counsel, Mr. Devakaran, I feel that this is a case where we are now trying to pin in, we are trying to push guilt towards a person who has got to be deemed to be innocent till she is proved guilty. So you'll have to give the role of, we have got to deem her to be innocent. So you will have to also try to ensure that she is not incarcerated till she is convicted. Let the prosecution put forth the case before the trial court, get her a conviction, and put her behind the bars. It's not a question of a man or a woman. Another thing also in this case is there are also other bigger wigs who are not at all being either questioned properly or they have not been arrested. So it's not a case where you say X is arrested, Y is arrested, Z is in jail, so Kanimuri should also be in jail. I think all these people could be given bail and a speedy trial be done, and ensure that they are all convicted. If they have committed wrong, let them suffer the punishment. I think we are always doing this thing of trying to ensure that people are arrested pre-trial only because you know that this may end in acquittal. If the case ends in acquittal, what will the state do? How are they going to compensate for all this loss? After all, Article 21 is very, very important. Life, liberty is something which has to be zealously guarded. Here, you are just simply saying this woman should be inside the prison even before she is found guilty.
Criminal conspiracy is a serious charge. So are we, in any case, are the supporters of Kanimuri in a sense overstating her case and playing the gender card?
See, I'll tell you, as far as this case is concerned, you need not play the gender card. We need not play anything else. All that we have to look at is life and liberty. The liberty is something which is very, very important, which has been given to us as a fundamental right. And you cannot deprive a person of one's liberty just simply by any force except through the process of law. And what is happening nowadays, bail seems to be rejected on the ground that she seems to be guilty, and so there is a presumption of guilt, but criminal jurisprudence talks about presumption of innocence and not presumption of guilt.
Well, moving ahead now, the citizens of Chennai have been awarded with a temporary reprieve after the initial announcement of 4 hours of park carts for the next 10 days, which had Chennaites sweating. The plans have been put on hold. However, with the TNEB warned that this was not the end. Earlier, TNEB had announced that there would be citywide park carts between the 21st of July and the 31st due to maintenance work. Now, Chief Minister Jayalalitha today visited the villages in Ananthanallur and Manikandam Panchayat unions in Sri Rangam constituency. She received complaints from the public during her visit in the villages. Now, on day 2 of her visit to the home constituency, she rewarded the AIDMK workers who were in charge of booths which polled the highest votes for the ruling party with gold rings. Now, she had launched schemes worth nearly 190 crore rupees for this constituency on the first day of her visit. Tamil Nadu Higher Education Minister P. Palaniyappan today announced that the academic counselling for engineering admissions in the state for general quota will commence on 8th of July and is expected to continue for a maximum of 35 days. And the counselling under the sports quota will commence on the 30th of June, while for vocational candidates, the counselling will be held between the 1st and the 6th of July. A total of 1,48,353 students have been applied for engineering courses this year. Well, after the elections, will the leaders now shift their focus? Not if you believe the Gokula Indira of the AIADMK. We'll tell you more on the other side.